Welcome to the Cozy News Corner for week 4 of 2026, your source for open source news. We're gonna start off, as we usually do, with a couple of bugs that we need to address or upgrade for. We have URL lib3 in Python that needs an upgrade because of a critical regression fix. Extremely important to update or else you might have a vulnerability. Next up, we have the Chromium for arbitrary code execution. So if you are visiting a homepage, it might run some code on your machine if you don't upgrade. Extremely important. Next up, we have in the old stable, bind 9 critical denial of service. So go over to the stable version of Debian. If you can't do that, then at least upgrade to the latest bind 9. inet utils, important telnetd. If you're using telnetd, stop doing that. But login bypass isn't good. You can actually just go into any machine using this telnet daemon. So upgrade. Next up, we have libxml. It's used for multiple different communications. And there we have a denial of service again. So upgrade. Next up, we have glib, which is in everything pretty much, and that has also a denial of service. If we have a particular program that has a crafted input, it can crash or hang the machine. Next up, we have iperth3, again denial of service, upgrade to the latest version. And we have Python Keystone middleware, which has a security flaw. So it's a vulnerability in the OpenStack middleware that handles authentication and authorization. And that's not good that you have a problem there, so upgrade. And last but not least, we have this Feather kind of web server that has a denial of service and code execution vulnerability. So upgrade your HTTP server. Now we're going to talk about Mozilla and the Firefox, and it has actually got an RPM package for those kind of distros. So they are actually starting to distribute their own Debian package and maintaining their own Debian package, or their own RPM package. So that's interesting, and it's good that they take on that responsibility because the maintainers of the different distros, it's a huge complication to keep all these packages up to date. Next, we have the new Steam client that adds support for Razer Ryu V3 Pro controller. So we have even more support for different controllers. And this enables the support for Nintendo Switch wired controller. I haven't seen a Nintendo Switch wired controller, but for the Nintendo Switch 2, there is obviously these kind of wired versions. I only have a Nintendo Switch 1, so I haven't looked into this. Ubuntu Snap Store is under siege from scammers, and the gates are open. So we have 2 different resources that is reporting on this. So there is crypto wallet theft and other scamming things that are domain takeovers and so on. So be very cognizant on what you find on the Snap Store, because some of the applications there might not be vetted or be something that you should use. So look into it. It's actually someone at at the former Canonical employee that have found a bunch of these kind of issues. All snaps are not great snaps, but there is a bunch of them, and if you have reputable sources and so on, Snap is just another way of installing packages. Good news for mobile app developer. Skip has also been reported in 2 different mediums. I have never used Skip, but this development platform for mobile applications have now become free and open source. Before it was something that you had to pay for. I guess this is for cross-compiling for different mobile platforms, and you can create applications for both, and now it's open source. So that's a good development. Next up, we have jQuery 4.0 have been released after decades of modernization changes. So I've been using jQuery for a couple of applications for a long time. I actually thought that it was dead and wasn't really updating because it was so long ago that it did some updates. But now 4.0 have been released, and they have removed support for Internet Explorer 10 and older, which is crazy. But this is some kind of layer for JavaScript that you can write applications that could pretty much run in any browser, which is really cool. And they have done a great job of having support for so much different browsers. And now they have added for support for modules, and there is a couple of API changes. You have removed trim, is AI, parse JSON, and now, because those are already in the version of JavaScript. And they also cleaned up push, sort, and splice, which is also in all browsers nowadays. So overall, a great release. Next up, we have Wine 11.1, which has released, and it has a bunch of bug fixes and improvements for both Windows applications and games. And I believe that it's not in this one, but I believe that they actually got some of the Photoshop applications to run under Wayland in the latest Wine release. I have not that news in front of me here, so take it with a huge grain of salt, but I had heard that the new Wine release supports even more applications, which is really nice. And then we have NTFY, which has released with the notification updates and deletions. So this is a pub/sub notification service, a simple HTTP, and I have never heard about this one, so this is something I would like to look into. So I'm gonna put that on my list for something to check out. I have used a bunch of these kind of pub/sub notification services, so this is just another tool that I want to learn more about. Next up, we have the Idrin OS that blocks LLM use and critical ethical training data and environmental cost. Citing ethical training data and environmental cost. So this was a couple of these kind of news when it comes to AI. So that is what we're gonna end this on. But pretty much this OS is saying that we will not take any contribution that are AI generated. We are fed up with all that work. We can't really see what the sources are, so we don't really know who to cite or if it's really open source, and there could be legal issues and so on. So they have just said, okay, if we detect that this is AI generated, we will not accept that submission. And this is the same news pretty much, but from a different source. And then we have curl that has get rid of this bug bounty program because of the AI slap overrun. So Daniel Sternberg is now shutting down his bug bounty program because there has been so much AI slop sent in as security issues for curl that it's not something that he can maintain anymore. And which is really sad because we want more people to help out and work with different open source repositories, of course, and help out with different programs. And when it comes to curl, it's an application that is running in pretty much everything. If you have a computer or a computing device, it's pretty much running curl. All web browsers are citing using curl. All different mobile devices are using curl in some instance. All Linux devices are using curl. I think even Windows is using curl live in some cases. So it's used all over the place, and it's billions of installs of curl. So having just a bunch of slop being thrown at it saying that here you have a bug that you need to look into, and it's like, that's not a bug. And then having millions of those every week is just not maintainable. So yeah, that's really sad, but that's the way that's the world we are living in now. So this was what I wanted to cover today. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you liked this video. Give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave those in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And I really hope to see you in the next video.